Now at 10, the city of Miami honors the Royal Air Force with a British Flyers Remembrance Ceremony. Plus,
it's monster truck season out here in Lamar, Missouri. I'm Anthony Saviello with an inside look coming up.
And vinyl music lovers gather at Carthage's Memorial Hall for the Four States Record Show.
The Four States Most Watched News starts now.
3 people were injured after a loaded tow truck T-boned a car near Joplin. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Elise Noe. It happened at around 7:30 p.m. yesterday on West 7th Street and Black Cat Road. Authorities say the tow truck, which was towing a vehicle, was traveling north on Black Cat when a car pulled out into its path. They say the tow truck then T-boned the car and went into a ditch. The tow truck and the vehicle it was towing both overturned. 2 people in the car and 1 person in the truck received non-life-threatening injuries. Authorities in Shannon County, Missouri have recaptured an inmate who escaped from the county jail on Thursday. Even though Kenny Carpenter is back behind bars, residents are still upset about the lack of information after the escape. Reporter Joe Hickman has more.
At the Shannon County Jail on the square in Eminence, this was the scene around 3:45 Thursday afternoon, captured by security cameras a block over, as 42-year-old Kenny Carpenter escaped from the jail through this hole in a recreation area fence. Carpenter had been arrested for violating his probation in Tennessee for drug possession.
The fencing on this thing is like really old, and he was able to break the fence and spread the chain link apart.
Having an inmate on the loose is not exactly unusual in Eminence.
Like, it's one of those things that you're just like, again, when they escape.
In 2014, Jason McClurg, who made national news after being convicted of killing his wife by spiking her Kool-Aid, escaped during a July 4th fireworks show. He was recaptured, as were these 2 inmates in September of 2020, after they assaulted a jailer and escaped from the same fenced-in area, stealing a man's truck to get away. And the jail was almost closed down in 2021 because of staffing shortages. While inmates were transferred to other facilities for a couple of weeks, the jail was reopened after maintenance was done. Thursday's escape was not announced to the media, and the last Sheriff's Office Facebook post was November of 2022. So some residents are upset that the word didn't get out about an escaped inmate on their streets.
I finally seen a post from another citizen that said, an inmate had escaped. Why haven't we heard anything? Why is nobody talking about this? We are never notified that anything bad is going on. Like, we have to find out from leaks, from people that are listening to scanners.
They should inform us, yeah. Even let us know that it happened. I mean, nobody said, this is what's going on, but I guess they have their reasons.
With his criminal history, there was no threat of violent bodily harm. Plus the fact I have myself and 3 deputies to cover over 1,000 square miles, and we were out looking for him. I don't have a liaison to set and put this on Facebook.
The Sheriff's Office challenges are actually outlined on its website homepage that mentions the county's median household income being at the poverty level, contributing to higher crime rates, and it then goes through the many crimes the agency has to deal with as a tourist town, with a department that has limited space, funding, and staff.
Joplin will have to go to a new location to use DMV services. It's not clear why the office closed, though the Breast Cancer Foundation recently closed another office in Springfield, citing revenue issues. They also referenced litigation against the State Department of Revenue over issues with the bid process. The new location will open Monday at 2702 Richard Joseph Boulevard in Joplin. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for a first look at the weather.
All right, thank you very much, Elise. We had a few thunderstorms earlier this afternoon roll across our area. They developed up towards the north, and then as they got closer to the metro area, they started to die off just a little bit. Storms were a little bit stronger off to the east, where there were some severe thunderstorm warnings earlier, but those have now started to move away as well. Taking a look at some of the video of some storms up near St. Louis earlier today, you can see some scud clouds and quite a bit of wind with those storms up in the St. Louis area this afternoon. We do have a chance of showers and thunderstorms in our forecast again for tomorrow, and also we have a big heat wave headed our way, and of course I'll tell you all about that in our forecast in just a little bit. Elise?
Oh, thanks, Sam. We'll see you soon. The annual British Flyers ceremony was held today in Miami. The ceremony honors the Royal Air Force cadets who lost their lives while training in Miami during World War II. The ceremony including a singing performance and special guest speakers, some of whom came all the way from England. The four-state record show was held today at Carthage Memorial Hall. Vendors and community members from all over the 4 states got the chance to meet new people and explore the world of classic and modern day vinyl.
You can find some new stuff. You're coming here, you're going to be able to find that gem that you may be looking for forever. It could be one that's just going to fill your collection up, that you have a list that you're making that you're coming in here. It can be something that just got made this year and made from the 60s or 70s.
The record show happens twice a year. The next show will be in the spring of 2024. The Freeman Event Center in Lamar, Missouri welcomed monster trucks this weekend. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has the story.
For kids like me, we all want to grow up and be a monster truck driver. While I may not get behind the wheel of one, it didn't stop me from getting to ride in one. But I needed some help from someone who had done it before. Gabe Johnson is the son of Stomping Grounds owner David Johnson. And while he may only be in 8th grade, he's got plenty of experience being around monster trucks.
Monster truck is kind of what started this place. We went to a monster truck show as a family, got some free tickets back in 2020, which is the year before this place came around, and fell in love with them. And we always own this land back here, and we thought, why not do it here?
According to Gabe, these monster truck shows are entertaining and never cease to amaze.
Well, the thing about a monster truck show, you never know. That's what I like to say. Some truck can flip over and catch on fire, and another truck will fly as high as an airplane. It's honestly unpredictable.
For fans like myself and Gabe, monster trucks are amazing to watch. But what is it like to ride in one? Turns out, we got the chance. Now I know what you're thinking, but our ride went a little smoother than that. Oh man. I think I know what I want for my birthday. It's a monster truck. Oh my goodness. Woo! So whether you're 5 years old or 95 years old, the entertainment of monster trucks never stops. Reporting in Lamar, Missouri, I'm Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Doesn't that look like so much fun? Well, the Stomping Grounds will be hosting more fun events this year, including professional bull riding in August and a large concert this October. Coming up, as former President Trump faces new charges, other Republican presidential candidates look to gain some ground on the campaign trail. Plus, the Biden administration announces a new weapons assistance package for Taiwan. We'll take a look. Republicans are hitting the campaign trail this weekend following last week's announcement of more charges leveled against former President Donald Trump in the classified documents case. Former President Donald Trump remains the front runner. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides reports.
I think this country's in a lot of trouble.
Former Vice President Mike Pence and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, both among the many GOP candidates hitting the trail this weekend.
No more whining. No more complaining. Now we get to work.
On Friday, most GOP candidates were in Iowa, careful not to call out former President Trump after new charges were leveled against him this week over his alleged mishandling of classified documents.
If I weren't running, I would have nobody coming after me. Or if I was losing by a lot, I would have nobody coming after me.
Former Congressman Will Hurd was booed after speaking about it.
Donald Trump is running to stay out of prison. And if we elect...
In Erie, Pennsylvania, President Trump rallying his base Saturday. Some of those in attendance echoed the former president's sentiment that his legal problems amount to political persecution.
I think it's just, unfortunately, politics on both sides. I don't think it's anything made of it.
It's
political garbage, and I'm not going to swear, but that's what it is. They're just trying to smear his name, and it's not working.
Some polls show Trump leads the Republican field by as much as 30 points. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
All of this is happening as we inch closer to the first GOP debate. We are less than a month away from when it's scheduled to take place on August 23rd. The Biden administration announced yesterday a new weapons package for Taiwan valued at up to $345 million. This marks the first time the U.S. has transferred equipment to Taiwan under what's known as the Presidential Drawdown Authority. That allows the U.S. to pull the weapons directly from the Defense Department inventories. However, it is unclear what kind of weapons and equipment that will be in the package. The Biden administration is proposing modest increases to fuel efficiency standards. The Department of Transportation's new rules would increase efficiency by 2% per year for cars and 4% for light trucks. That would result in most vehicles getting around 43 miles per gallon by 2032. Earlier this year, the Environmental Protection Agency proposed dramatically increasing the number of electric vehicles on the road. But some critics are expressing concern they don't require new vehicles to be efficient enough. Gas prices are climbing, and Biden administration officials say they're keeping a watchful eye. Senior White House officials say President Joe Biden's top advisors are briefing him regularly on the situation. AAA says the average price of gas rose 2 cents per gallon yesterday to $3.73. That follows the biggest one-day spike since June 2022, earlier this week. A little later, Pittsburgh State football is preparing for football season ahead of the school year. Brock Baldridge will have that and more in sports.
I wish we had some football weather, but unfortunately it's summertime across the area, and that means triple-digit heat, and I'll tell you how hot it's going to get as we head towards the forecast when we come back. Well, friends, it was a scorcher out there across the 4 states, with many places getting into the upper 90s and even low 100s, including the Joplin metro area. Let's start off this morning down in Seneca, Missouri, at Indigo Sky Casino Resort, and we go through the day. You can see just some clouds here and there, and in the afternoon, really warmed up pretty nicely, and then we had some clouds coming in later on this evening with some of the thunderstorms that have dissipated across our area. In fact, a beautiful sunset across the area this evening. This was taken earlier in central Missouri. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous night with a few showers here and there, especially down to the south and east. And let's take a look and see if I can take a look. There we go. 100 degrees for the high today in Joplin after starting out at 76. Of course, that was well above the normals of 91 and 70. And yes, we're still behind on the rainfall by about 11 inches. But you know what? At least it's not like it was in July of 1954, where we set the all-time record of 115 on July the 14th. And we had 12 days in a row of 100 plus. But that's not even the record. The record is 19 days of 100 plus back in 1980. So it could be worse. So let's just enjoy the nice weather while we can. We did have some showers earlier this afternoon over the last 4 hours. You can see a lot of that activity has dissipated, and the storms are still ongoing in northeastern Arkansas. But at least one thing is that the showers did cool it off a little bit, especially up towards the north, with 75 in Iola right now, 78 in Nevada and in Stockton. But notice where the rain stopped or didn't make it, it's still in the 80s right now, like in Veneta at 84. Now tomorrow, it's going to be a repeat of today. Isolated thunderstorms, but most areas are going to feel like it's in the low 100s once again. And guess what? That's going to continue into Monday with, again, temperatures feeling like in the low 100s, 106 in Baxter Springs, 104 in Nevada. So brutally hot out there. At least rain chances are not zero. They're low, but at least we have a chance of isolated, scattered to isolated and scattered showers and storms in a few spots. And where it does rain, you might pick up about half an inch in an isolated spot. Most areas will be less than that. Temperatures tonight are going to be mild, generally in the mid-70s, wall to wall with westerly winds. Then tomorrow, again, isolated storms up towards the north and maybe a little bit down in Oklahoma with that outflow boundary from those storms earlier this evening. But highs should still make it up into the upper 90s to around 100. Then as we go into Monday morning, isolated storms again up towards the north with lows in the 70s. And then Monday afternoon, carbon copy of today and tomorrow with highs near 100 degrees across the area. So it's going to be hot. In fact, it's going to get hotter as we go towards Tuesday with a high of 102 and hotter still on Wednesday and Thursday with a high of 104. And then finally we cool it down as we go towards next weekend, Elise, with a chance of thunderstorms, which we desperately need to help cool us off as well.
Looking forward to it.
Me
Thanks,
too.
Sam. Well, the test results are in on the green stuff floating in Lake Taneycomo near Forsyth and Rockaway Beach. State environmental workers came in to test the waters to determine what it is. Nick Kelly has an update on what they found.
After collecting samples from Lake Taneycomo on Tuesday, the Department of Natural Resources found no toxins present in the lake. However, microscopic analysis did point to two main substances.
The test showed there is a small amount of cyanobacteria. That's an algae bloom. However, the bacteria is not producing toxins, so it won't be treated right now. According to the test, most of the green stuff was water meal. While usually not toxic, too much water meal can lower the oxygen levels in the lake, causing fish kills. Sun also can't get to the underwater plants if there's a lot. A spokesperson for DNR says right now, the size of water meal in Lake Taneycomo is not a concern, and once our temperatures cool, it should go away.
Lowering that water temperature, and then also in fall at some point, you will get the lake turnover, where the water down deep comes back up. Those water temperatures change, things mix, and that can help as well.
The department will leave this case open for another 2 weeks to allow for additional testing to wrap up and for additional concerns to be voiced. If you have any concerns, especially health concerns affecting you, your family, pets, or livestock near any of this potential growth, get medical attention first and then give the authorities and the department a call.
Still ahead, the Royals and Cardinals are both in action tonight. And the Gorillas are motivated for another big season. Brock Baldridge will break down this story next in sports.
In approximately 33 days, the Pittsburgh State Gorillas kick off their season against Washburn. Now, you may think the team is happy going 12-0 in conference play last season, but the team still has a sour taste in their mouth of how the season ended. Earlier this week, Pittsburgh State got a chance to speak at the MIAA Media Day in Kansas City. Pitt State was picked to finish in first place in both the media and coaches poll. The Gorillas went undefeated last season in the MIAA until their season came to an end in the NCAA Division II playoffs, but the Gorillas are motivated to come into this season with a much bigger goal in mind.
Yeah, we had a decent year last year. 12-1 looks good on paper, but at the end of the day, we didn't accomplish what we wanted to, and that's a national championship. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, but when you're a Gorilla, you know what you signed up for. Those are the expectations, so trying to get back there this year and hopefully take another step from there.
But again, the thing that I'm most excited about is I think they're all motivated like Trace is to be even better. And then defense, we talked about the linebacker crew and Dubim, but we have Mike returning at safety, played phenomenal for us last year, and a couple corners that I think are very, very good and also motivated to be even better.
Well, the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals approach the MLB trade deadline, which takes place next week. The Royals are coming off one of their biggest wins of the season. As for the Cardinals, they're coming off yet another disappointing loss. Royals are back home tonight against the Twins after last night's game ended off a walk-off grand slam from Bobby Witt Jr. The Royals will go for the series win tonight, and they do just that by defeating the Minnesota Twins 10-7. Bobby Witt Jr. hit another home run in this game, finished the game going 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Cardinals versus Cubs tonight in Busch Stadium. The Cardinals nearly had a walk-off home run themselves last night, except it was robbed in center field. So the Cardinals will try to avoid losing the series to Chicago, and so far that's not looking too good This game started off with a weather delay. Now we're back rolling. Cubs currently lead the Cardinals 5-1 in the 9th inning. And finally, for some K-State Wildcat fans, how could you forget former K-State running back Deuce Vaughn, who currently plays for the Dallas Cowboys in Oxnard, California for training camp. Well, the Dallas Cowboys just released their player measurables for the season, and at the moment, Deuce Vaughn is currently the shortest player in the NFL, standing at 5 feet and 5 inches. You can see Deuce on the loose for the Cowboys in their first preseason game when they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars on August 12th. That'll be it with sports. We'll be right back with more news right after this.
An iconic 80s film and historic 60s comeback are in theaters this weekend. David Daniel has the details.
You a Heather?
No, I'm a Veronica. I don't really like my friends.
I don't really like your friends either.
Heathers is back for its 35th anniversary. The killer comedy starring Winona Ryder and Christian Slater returns to theaters on Sunday at 4 p.m. local time. Locations and more info at fathomevents.com.
By the late 1960s, Elvis had become irrelevant.
TV director Steve Binder remembers helping resurrect Elvis Presley's career in the documentary Reinventing Elvis, the '68 Comeback, in theaters Sunday only. Info and tickets at reinventingelvis.com.
This is Crowley. He and I go back a long time.
Sean. It's the day Good Omens fans have been praying for. Season 2 of the fantasy comedy series starring Michael Sheen and David Tennant is finally here.
It's been a while. We've made people wait for this. It's been 4 years since Series 1 came out. So if there's expectation, it's been ramped up.
The 6-episode season premieres today on Prime Video. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, it's going to be hot as Hades out there tomorrow with temperatures approaching 100 degrees, 100 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Look at Wednesday and Thursday, 104. And then we finally cool off next weekend with a bit more shower activity around.
Well, in case you guys were wondering, or anyone out there wondering, the Mink League season came to an end tonight. The Jefferson City Renegades beat the St. Joseph Mustangs to win the Mink League. So at least the Joplin Outlaws can say they lost to the champions.
That's our time for now. Thanks for making us part of your night.